Chapter 2. Rugburn. Sophia is the woman I started seeing right after I moved to the Hobbit house. Sophia is the person in the photo sitting on the toilet that was printed and collated into the neatly organized stack of documents that stood taller than a ream of paper, accessed through an iPad, by an angry ex and her enmeshed family. Sophia is not her real name. She has asked me to respect her privacy for this project, and so I will honor that. Also, Marie is not my ex-wife's real name. I've changed it to respect her privacy as well. Sophia was a diversity hire for the fledgling Center for Arts and Entertainment Technologies in the College of Fine Arts at the University of Texas at Austin. I was teaching and developing curricula for many new classes. I was designing the music and sound area, and I needed help. I was on the search committee that invited Sophia and two other applicants to Austin for an interview for our music technology vacancy. I am fully aware of the 6,000 shiny, synchronous, up-to-date, and professional etiquette alarms I am getting ready to set off by saying this. But the heart is a hungry hunter on only a few arrows. She was drop-dead gorgeous, clever, engaging, funny, and positively alive. I fell in love with her right there during the job interview. There it is. And to everyone at UT who, as was discovered by me within the 5,000 pages of discovery produced in my lawsuit against UT, desperately tasked with proving that I knew Sophia before she was offered a job at UT, I invite you all to go dry fuck yourself. Slowly. But what is the right call? Is it wrong to fall in love with the person you are interviewing for a job? Is it wrong to ask if such a thing is wrong? Is questioning love futile? Is love itself futile? Could Sophia have bombed her interview and still been offered the job? We were both beginning the ends of unsustainable marriages to partners uninterested in moving to Austin. We were both songwriters who greatly loved the song form. Sophia and I both had a funky sense of humor and could laugh endlessly at an inside-out t-shirt. But what is the right call? Is it wrong to fall in love under such circumstances? None of my dear friends ever suggested to me that it might have been a bad idea. I asked often. I was concerned. Just recently, like a week ago, Sophia and I exchanged texts that reveal vastly different takes on many key parts of what we experienced. My son and I had stopped in Asheville for a few days to visit Sophia and her mom on our way to Philly to buy a Russian accordion. John Henry wanted to stop. I could have taken or left it. On our way back from Philly, we chose not to stop in Asheville again. She asked if I enjoyed visiting her. This is a thread about how past narratives can change over time, and how personal perspectives shift to accommodate anxieties, fears, and insecurities. I text, "In a nutshell, you left the guy who talked Bruce, department chair at UT, into hiring you and with whom you had a child on the very stepping stone you used to elevate your career and change lives, while my teaching career was gutted as I was successfully unfucking myself and beating UT. It almost killed me." Sophia replied, "You chose to do the thing that almost killed you. I didn't want any of that. Here is my narrative. You used your knee surgery, divorce, and son to get me, your new colleague, closer. The implication of your new colleague was so entirely devastating. And until that very moment, I read it, pumping gas in Arkansas on a very hot and humid June late afternoon. After 8 hours of driving, I had never ever thought for a moment that I might have made a mistake with my heart. Love is a complicated game, made even more complicated with complications like nasty divorces, a dead child, a demonic workplace, and so on. And the heart is an irrational swashbuckler. A funny story about the knee surgery. I had hyperextended my knee while trail running about a month before I met Sophia. It was exacerbated by moving a bunch of heavy equipment halfway across the UT campus. Already moved in at the Hobbit House, I had a pre-surgery consultation appointment 2 days before the surgery with the orthopedic surgeon, a stout, intense, smileless man. Examining my left knee, he looked up at me with this all-too-knowing look and asked about the abrasion on the knee right in the exact place where the surgery would begin. I lied and said I fell or something, or whatever. But any decent doctor would have seen the abrasion and its location just inside and below the knee as being exactly what it was. A rug burn. Literally, a fucking rug burn. The surgery was postponed for 2 weeks. That rug burn was acquired the very first night I had Sophia over to the Hobbit House. She moved into the Hobbit House about a month after she accepted the job and moved to Austin. The neatly organized stack of documents that stood taller than a ream of paper just sat there on a table, all high and mighty during the divorce mediation. Contained within the stack was supposedly evidence that would convince a jury I was having an affair with Sophia while I was still married. Is it an affair if you're still married and getting your personal life eviscerated while waiting for mediation and a signed decree? If I recall, the phrase emotional affair was used, referring to printouts of the semi-flirty texts Sophia and I were exchanging immediately after she accepted the job offer, but before she moved to Austin and before we all went to look at the Hobbit House. And here's the thing. Yes, I was having something one might call an emotional affair with Sophia. But here's the other thing. As Jeff, the dream builder landlord, his wife Sharon, my father and his wife were standing there as witnesses, I genuinely and desperately wanted Marie to finally cut her short umbilical tether, move to Austin and into the Hobbit House so we could get on with being a family. Our son, John Henry, desperately wanted it, and I was ready for the future. Marie chose to kill the marriage, and no amount of amateur sleuth deep diving into the private files of another person would ever amount to proof of otherwise. And by the way, Sophia didn't bomb her interview. In fact, she was by far the best candidate and proved to be the perfect person for the job.